Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally just does not work. And I want to thank you guys for joining in for another edition of Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because literally, you can't sleep on the Dallas Cowboys. Stuff always happens late at night, in the middle of the night, first thing in the morning, so you got to get up to speed on them. And today, of course, is no different. We've had the drama that is the Dez Bryant situation, and that's just spawned all kinds of stuff. We know that Jerry Jones is planning on meeting with Dez Bryant late next week. Now, here's the thing. We've had tons and tons of discussion on here. I'm told I'm an idiot. Not the first time in my life. Sure, it's not going to be the last time. But here's my point. You can look at quite a few players and say, you know what, their production didn't meet their pay that are under contract, yet the only one they're talking to is Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant has a contract for a couple more years. So the only reason you meet with Dez Bryant is to say, we want you to take less money. Bottom line, there's no other reason to meet with him other than that, or to say, thanks, we're going to move on. If that is the case, they kind of did Dez Bryant a disservice because most of the big spots and stuff have been kind of filled. You kind of messed him up as far as free agency goes. So if that's the case, that's not really a good thing that the Cowboys did. I mean, I'm sure, believe me, Dez Bryant will get a job someplace. It's not a question. Not when people are offering stuff for Odell Beckham and they're literally asking a king's ransom for him. 2 number ones, and I would not give 2 number ones. And I know a lot of people out there like, well, we traded and gave up 2 number ones for Roy Williams. Yeah, and that was stupid then, and it would be stupid now. You don't want a cancer to your team. And that's the funny thing is now, I get chastised and told that I'm a clickbaiter and things, but people were talking about what the Dallas Cowboys should trade or will trade to try and get Odell Beckham. The first, the fourth, and Dez Bryant. No, let's face it. The Giants don't want Dez Bryant. And the Cowboys are not going to give up that to bring him here. So, as you guys have jumped on me, why don't you guys jump on those people as well? Because I made one mistake, which I'm not sure is exactly a mistake. Time will tell if it is or not. But be that as it may, we're not going for Odell Beckham, and nor should we. We should have learned from the past that guys that are disruptive makers don't work and don't win. We had Greg Hardy. We had T.O. Those guys did nothing for us. So bringing in a guy who was completely all about me and I don't give a damn in Odell Beckham, you don't need. I take Dez Bryant in a heartbeat over him. But here's the reality for the Dallas Cowboys and everybody that says, just hold on to Dez. These are like the same people that were saying, just bring Romo back. The reality is money. Do you realize that the Dallas Cowboys right now have the second most amount of money going to wide receivers in the NFL? Second most. The only team that's paying more for wide receivers is Tampa Bay. And the reality is, the 2 teams in the Super Bowl weren't led by their wide receivers. Gronk and Zach Ertz had more catches on each of their teams than any other ones. Tight end is the new wide receiver position, and that's a discussion for another day, where we really need to improve the vertical play of our tight ends. We'll get to that. We got plenty of time this offseason, and we need to do an upgrade. Love Jason Witten and things, but he's no longer a deep threat. Have hopes for Rico Gathers, because Rico Gathers has that body that you like. He's tall, he's lean, he has a beautiful stride, he has leaping ability. Now what he needs is to be able to stay healthy and on the field. But we'll get to that one later on. So we're still dealing with the Dez Bryant situation. And as I put it, we are spending more money in wide receivers right now than anybody else. We know that there's going to be an odd man out. Could be Terrence Williams, who is having foot surgery. Could be Cole Beasley, who we've gotten into a little Twitter battle with Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders basically is on Dez Bryant's side saying, screw that, I ain't taking a pay cut, nor should he. What about Jason Witten, who has restructured his contract? Didn't mean a pay reduction, it meant a restructure. We just took some money, give him a check, and stretched it out over more years of the contract. And Cole Beasley, well, wide receivers play was down all the way around. I'll give you that, Deion. But Cole Beasley's contract is only $4.2 million cap hit versus Deion Sanders, which is $16 million cap hit.
Who?
4 times as much.
Who?
Cole Beasley.
It was Dez Bryant.
Cole Beasley's contract is 4.2. Dez Bryant is 16. I'm sorry, 16 million for Dez Bryant. So, yeah, everybody could use a pay cut, but who's saying that Cole Beasley will still be here? That's another question and another discussion for a later time. So, Cole Beasley's response to that was, well, I'm just another white boy, or typical white boy until I get on the field. And he said, I'm not a typical white boy on the field. And, he basically deals with doubters and everything else. So be that as it may, we'll just leave that one alone. But it's definitely passion on both sides of the fence on the whole situation. And I hope they resolve it sooner than later. But some good news, though. Tony Romo is having a lot of success off the field, not on the golf course so much, but as far as in the broadcast booth. Him and Jim Nantz have been nominated for an Emmy Award in sports broadcasting. So congratulations, Tony Romo. You're doing it up off the field. Too bad we couldn't get you that Super Bowl ring and things. So we'll see how that goes. Good luck to him. Best of luck. And one last thing, ESPN. It's funny because I, watch, of course, the sports shows. If I'm working my workshop, I've got ESPN or I've got NFL Network on. My phone's got every news site and so forth on there. I'm hooked up to NFL media and everything else, trying to make sure when anything happens. And, of course, I've got lots of you great fans that are out there that also will send me an article or send me a text and say, hey, guess what? This is all going on. It was interesting because when you start seeing the advertisements for the draft, and guys, we're only weeks away from the draft, and we cannot wait to get going and drive down there. It's amazing how the NFL is advertising the 2018 NFL Draft on NFL Network and Fox Sports. ESPN? Anybody? It's kind of like the NFL has it in now for ESPN. They're not showing ESPN any love, any advertising, or anything else like that. And we know that ESPN has come up with their app where they'll be streaming sports to you for $5 a month. How many of you guys have signed up for that service? Anybody? Well, lo and behold, Bleacher Report comes out yesterday and announces that they're going to start a streaming service as well, where they'll be broadcasting over 5,000 events. And I'm sure that they're not going to be major events and things, although some of the stuff is partnering with the NBA. But theirs is free. Theirs is free. And as you start seeing Amazon, who is now registered Amazon Tube name, YouTube, who is working with the NBA, guys like me that are out here talking to you great fans and things like that. ESPN's business model is a dinosaur. It's antiquated. And they are slowly but surely going completely down the tubes. And the competition is beginning to eat them for lunch. So it's kind of a sad day for ESPN because growing up, young adult, ESPN was the place to go for all the credible news on sports. They were the worldwide leader. Now, I'm not sure what they are. Oh, and one last thing. Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory is getting his papers and stuff in order to apply for reinstatement to the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys hold his rights because basically the time that he spent on suspension does not count towards him getting into free agency. However, I'm not so sure that the Dallas Cowboys are interested in getting him back on the field and trying to count on him. When you listen to Stephen Jones, he stated that he is not in our plans. And I truly believe the power for the Dallas Cowboys now is in Stephen Jones's hands. I'm not sure exactly where that's going to go, but first thing he has to do is get reinstated. But I'm thinking that the Dallas Cowboys don't have him in the plans. Other than that, friends, that's all we've got going on thus far with the Dallas Cowboys. But it is another day. And of course, there will be something to talk about the Dallas Cowboys because, as we know, they are America's team. I'm Mark Holmes, it's Cowboy Jobu, and me and my son, Michael Anthony, have got some work we got to go do. And I hope you guys make it a great day, and we'll see you soon.
Hello, friends. Cowboy Jobu here with an unsolicited opinion on the Jobu wings. You were saying about the wings?
The wings are the best I've ever had. Hands down. Awesome.
Okay, well, we've been passing out our recipe. If you actually look on our YouTube channel, we have all the recipes for all this stuff on here.
With the women, with the ladies.
You know that. Okay, slide in a little bit here. Okay, all right, so on 3. James, get in there, man. Okay, we're gonna do How About Them Cowboys. Okay, all right, everybody, on 3, How About Them Cowboys. 1, 2, 3.
How about them Cowboys?